Welcome and good afternoon, everybody. Let me go over some housekeeping items. We would like to begin this program by recognizing that while we gather at San Jose State University, we are gathered on the ethno-historic tribal territory of the Tamian Ohlone, who were the direct ancestors of the lineages enrolled in the Muwekma Ohlone tribe, who were missionized into missions Santa Clara, San Jose, and Dolores. The lands on which San Jose State University are established were and continue to be of significance to the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. We also recognize that the ancestors of the Muwekma Ohlone constructed and maintained the 3 Bay Area missions. Our campus extends to surrounding areas that held a tupentak, a traditional roundhouse once located at the historic Lope Inigo land grant Rancho Posolmi Positas de las Animas, and also Marcelo Pio and Cristobal's land grant Rancho Ulistac, which were places of celebration and religious ceremonies, as well as nearby ancestral heritage shell mounds that served as the tribe's traditional cemetery sites and territorial monuments. San Jose State University also desires to honor the military service of the Muwekma men and women who have honorably served overseas during World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Iraq, and who are still serving in the United States Armed Forces today. The San Jose State University community also recognizes the importance of this land to the indigenous Muwekma Ohlone people of this region, and consistent with our principles of community and diversity, strives to be good stewards on behalf of the Muwekma Ohlone tribe whose land we occupy. All honorees are listed on the Provost webpage. We hope you were able to enjoy the videos posted on this webpage the last few days, honoring our faculty for their many years of service. You may congratulate your colleagues in the chat and keep the good vibes rolling. And now, I would like to remind you that we are recording this program. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our interim president, Steve Perez.
Thank you, Karthika. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you to the 23rd Annual Faculty Service Recognition event. Today, we celebrate faculty who are distinguished by the length of their service to our university, but also for their immense dedication to our students. The honorees present today have served San Jose State from 15 years up to an exceptional 40 years. All of our service award recipients have demonstrated a passion for their students' academic and personal growth. You are exceptional teachers and scholars. In addition to recognizing faculty who have achieved milestones, I am also pleased to acknowledge our 2022 Faculty Award recipients. These award recipients are being recognized for their exemplary teaching, meaningful service, and their commitment to research, scholarship, and creative activity. Today, we honor our 2022 Outstanding Lecturer, Distinguished Service, Outstanding Professor, and President Scholar honorees who bring intellectual depth, curiosity, and commitment to everything they do. Today is truly a great day to be a Spartan. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Vincent Del Casino, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, to present the Outstanding Lecturer Award. Dr. Del Casino.
Thank you so much, Steve. I really appreciate that. The Outstanding Lecturer Award recognizes a lecturer who has a record of excellence in facilitating student learning, has demonstrated extraordinary commitment to students, and has made unique contributions to San Jose State University. It is my honor to recognize the 2021-2022 Outstanding Lecturer Award recipient, Leanne Teruya, a lecturer in geology in the College of Science. Way to go, Leanne. Now, for those who don't know, Leanne has served as a lecturer since 2006 after earning a master's from SJSU in 2005. She teaches mainly lower division courses focusing on geology for engineers and the geology of California. Her student evaluations are exceptional, typically landing in the 4.8 to 5.0 range. Students have made note of her creative use of in-class activities and her unique ability to keep them interested and engaged in their studies. Leanne has also created new virtual and augmented reality curricular materials featuring field trips at various geological sites, including downtown San Jose. She leads a community service learning project in 2 local elementary schools titled Geology Rocks. And most recently, she has been focused on creating more equitable and inclusive classroom environments while embedding anti-racist practices in her teaching. Leanne also serves as the co-director of the Bay Area Environmental STEM Institute and as a geology docent trainer with the Min Peninsula Open Space Ranger District. Somehow, on top of all that, she finds time to maintain an active research program with several fieldwork projects and regular abstracts with publication in the Geological Society of America. For these and many other contributions that make her an incredible educator at San Jose State, it gives me great pleasure to present this year's Outstanding Lecturer Award recipient, Leanne Teruya. Leanne, please come to the podium, so to speak.
Thank you, Provost Del Casino. So I had the option today of sitting in my office with the door closed or being at home so that I could not wear a mask, but I wanted to be here at school today so that I could thank people in person who have helped me get where I am today. So as you all know, teaching never happens in a vacuum. And so I have a lot of people I want to acknowledge. First, I want to acknowledge all the other lecturers here at San Jose State because I know there are many, many awesome lecturers. And I know this because I've interacted with a lot of you across campus. I really want to thank my family. So first, I want to thank my husband, Ray, and happy anniversary, Ray. Thank you for always volunteering to stop the car and turn around the car and park the car on the side of the road so I can get out and see some rocks I saw as we were driving by. And thank you to my boys who pretty much all their lives, our vacations have been determined by where I want to go to do some research for my classes. So thank you for that. I'm really proud to be a part of the geology department and to represent the geology department because I think we really put an emphasis on teaching here. I have to thank Jonathan Miller and Bob Miller for nominating me for this award and just for really, really wanting me to receive it. So thank you for your support and your faith in me. Thank you, Ellen, for all the opportunities you've given me and for our collaboration. I love working with you. And thank you to Leslie and Ginny and Alphonse for always making the impossible happen. For whatever I need from my class, you guys do it, and even if it's crazy. And thank you to my whole department for supporting me and really just going along with whatever crazy teaching idea I happen to have and just never saying no. And thank you to Betsy and Paula for being my sounding boards. When I think about San Jose State and my teaching here, I realize that San Jose State is an ecosystem that really promotes and produces excellent teaching. We have such great resources here. We have fabulous colleagues. We have an administration who, especially in these last 2 years of pandemic teaching, has encouraged us to be kind and thoughtful in our approaches. And lastly, but never least, I want to thank my students because my students are the inspiration for everything I do every day in my classes. Thank you.
Thank you, Leanne. Really powerful words, and I really appreciate your contributions to this institution. So now I'd like to turn it over to President Perez, who will be presenting the Distinguished Service Award.
Thank you, Vin, and congratulations, Leanne. Your vacations actually sound pretty exciting. True story. My wife and I went on a tour of the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond once on our anniversary. I'm sure she would have enjoyed going to see rocks instead. But the next step in this ceremony is to honor the Distinguished Service Award recipient. The Distinguished Service Award recognizes exemplary service and leadership contributions to the university and the community or profession that brings credit to San Jose State University. The recipient of the 2021-2022 Distinguished Service Award is Scott Myers-Lipton, Professor of Sociology and Interdisciplinary Social Sciences in the College of Social Sciences. Scott has a long history of service to the broader San Jose State community, setting a standard for public engagement and discourse. He forges opportunities for students to exercise leadership in and through civic engagement on issues of concern to us all. To cite just two examples, Scott served as a mentor to the Student Homeless Alliance and helped students work with university leadership to develop a 12-bed emergency housing program that began as a pilot project, and I'm happy to say is now built into our plans for the future, and a $12 million rental assistance program for unhoused students. I've seen firsthand how Scott's work with our students helps them to be strong advocates for crucial issues, as I've had the pleasure of meeting with student leadership in the Student Homeless Alliance. They're a very impressive group, strong advocates, and I look forward to continuing to work with them in support of our students. Prior to that, Scott and the students he mentored from the Campus Alliance for Economic Justice led the successful Measure D campaign, raising San Jose's minimum wage to $15 an hour. Students involved in these and other similar endeavors learn the value and power of their own voices. They acquire the tools and means for helping society and improving the lives of others. Scott's colleagues and community members understand the reach and the power of his work. One colleague noted that his action-based pedagogy engages students in service to the community, essentially learning to put democracy into action. A notable community member pointed out that Scott was a driving force behind the award of honorary doctorates to Tommy Smith and John Carlos. Indeed, Scott also played a key role in advocating for the statue of those remarkable athletes that is now a campus landmark. I haven't had the pleasure of meeting Scott, but given his commitment to our community and students, I look forward to meeting him soon. For strengthening our status as a transformative university, it is my honor to present our Distinguished Service Award recipient, Scott Myers-Lipton.
Hello, y'all see? Hello. Thank you for those words, President Perez. While I'm honored to receive this award, more significantly, it is a recognition of the important role public intellectuals play on campus and in society. Public intellectuals do their best to use and apply the knowledge of their academic discipline, not only to their classroom and their scholarship, but also to the campus and to the larger community. For me, this award is shared by all SJSU faculty who see themselves as public intellectuals. And for those who do not see themselves in this light, here are a few examples to encourage you to become one. As a public intellectual, you can use the knowledge from your discipline to bring improvements to the campus. As you probably are aware, sociologists are interested in institutional racism. When I first came to San Jose State in 1999, I was shocked that there was nothing around campus that highlighted Tommy Smith and John Carlos, particularly since I grew up in San Jose. And I asked why this was the case. I was told by my colleagues it was too controversial for the campus, and I was encouraged by them to stay away from the topic as it was just too hot of one. Then in 2004, students asked faculty to join a student-led committee to build statues for Tommy and John, and I jumped at the opportunity. After the statues were erected, I have co-hosted an annual event to commemorate October 16th, the anniversary of Tommy and John's historic stand in Mexico City, in order to challenge our campus community to consider the issues of racism, poverty, and human rights, not just how they played out in 1968, but how they are still with us and so important to focus on today. As a public intellectual, you can also support the campus by serving as a faculty advisor for AS student groups. For me, as President Perez has said, it's come in many forms and many groups, but two of which, as mentioned by President Perez, the Campus Alliance for Economic Justice, who raised the minimum wage in San Jose. They came up with the idea and led that campaign with others to raise it from 8 to 10 and then to $15 an hour. And I believe if it's not the single most, the largest increase in the minimum wage in the history of the country, it's one of the largest. And then also I've had the pleasure to work, as President Perez said, with the Student Homeless Alliance, which signed this historic agreement with the administration, with the president, on a 5-part agreement to ensure that all Spartans have a safe place to sleep. And we all know that there's a crisis. 11% of our students experience homelessness at least once, one time throughout the year, about 4,000 of our students. And so we really have to step up and figure out how to help solve that issue. And this agreement is a step towards that. As a public intellectual, you can respond to the events of the day. When George Floyd was murdered, I was looking at how could I do something around that? And I felt compelled to respond. So I created the Silicon Valley Pain Index, which is now published annually by the SJSU Human Rights Institute. The purpose of this yearly report is to provide a measure of structured inequalities to inform public policy and practice here in Silicon Valley. And lastly, as a public intellectual, you can bring about institutional change. For me, this has led to a partnership with the Bonner Foundation to mainstream social action across the nation. Social action is a transformative experiential learning course where students develop and launch campaigns of their choosing with the goal of changing a rule, a regulation, a norm, or a policy on the campus or in the community. I invite all faculty and staff to join me in this social action work to strengthen our democracy, particularly in these times, by giving our students a firsthand experience of doing democracy. Clearly, there's much work to do, and we as public intellectuals have a role to play. This award shines a light on that role of being a public intellectual, and I look forward to working with many of you, my colleagues, on this important work. Thank you so much. It's an honor to receive this award.
Thank you and congratulations, and thank you very much for those very inspiring words, Dr. Myers-Lipton. This is truly a well-deserved honor, and it's a pleasure to give it to you. At this time, let me bring back Vin to present the Outstanding Professor Award.
Thank you so much, Steve, and congratulations, Scott, for a very well-deserved award. So the Outstanding Professor Award recognizes a faculty member for overall excellence in their academic assignment. The recipient of the 2021-2022 Outstanding Professor Award is Dr. David Chai, a professor in the Animation and Illustration program in the College of Humanities and the Arts. David joined San Jose State as a faculty member in 2004, but was no stranger to SJSU, having earned a BS from our Animation and Illustration program in 1995 and an MS in 1999. The program David manages just happens to be one of the most vibrant and successful programs anywhere, largely due to his and his colleagues' efforts. They offer more than 400 majors and are recognized as one of the top 5 animation programs in the entire country, driving creativity in the Silicon Valley and beyond. David's commitment to students dates back to his own student days when he was one of the founding officers of the SJSU Animation Club, which they call, wait for it, the Shrunken Headman Club. This whimsical name was chosen to remind its members to be humble, meaningful, with no big heads, and supportive of each other. The club is still going 27 years later. David's work with his students isn't limited to the academic year. Nearly every summer, he assembles a crew of mostly students to work on a short film, giving them a chance to learn about what it's like working in an animation pipeline, from concept to character designs, to animation, voice acting, and all the way to final post-production. I could go on and talk about the films that he's had selected by major festivals, like one you may have heard of called Sundance, and the numerous awards those films have received. But I'll end by mentioning that many SJSU students who have been taught and mentored by David and subsequently have gone on to successful industry careers. Storyboard artists, art directors, animators, and other creative professionals are now enjoying strong careers thanks to the work that David put in with them. That's really, the ultimate tribute to his teaching career. For his amazing creativity, a well-organized work ethic, and an overall super nice personality and amazing faculty member, I'm delighted to present this year's outstanding professor, Dr. David Chai. David.
All right, thank you, Vin. Thank you very much. Hey, there's no Chai in team. You know, it's a whole group effort. I have to start off by saying first that will I get in trouble being the outstanding professor and I'm cutting class right now to be here? Hopefully not. But I know, Steve, sorry, I'm so sorry. I'll get back there in a minute. But first, I want to start off by saying thank you, Jesus. Jesus Hernandez, the design department support technician. Jesus, we did it, baby. We did it. You know, thinking about Jesus Hernandez and Lucas Chung and my colleagues here reminds me why I love San Jose State so much. And, you know, I think about all the work I've done with the different staff and faculty and administrators on stuff like the food pantry or, you know, the food donation sites and working on cross-disciplinary projects and, you know, even reading our colleagues' dossiers or their sabbatical proposals. You know, it makes me realize we're surrounded by so many superheroes and many of whom are being awarded for their faculty service honors today. So congratulations to all you guys. But it's a great honor to be surrounded by such superheroes to the community and the students in the world. And it's a great honor to be recognized among all you guys. So good job, everyone. Thank you for the award. And I'll get back to class after the ceremony, I promise. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ben.
David, you need a hall pass. I'm happy to put my signature on something for you.
Okay, yeah, I'll send it over through the intra-campus mail.
So now I'd like to invite President Perez back to introduce the President's Scholar Award recipient. Steve?
Thank you, Ben. The President's Scholar Award recognizes established scholars or artists who have achieved national or international recognition based on the quality of their scholarship, performance, or creative activities. The winner of this year's President's Scholar Award is Dr. Scott Schaefer, a professor in biological sciences in the College of Science. Scott has conducted a large and important body of research in the field of ecology and has achieved widespread recognition for his efforts. Whether it's been through research collaborations, peer-reviewed research articles in prestigious journals, invitations to give oral presentations at universities and conferences, funding from government agencies, this is a long list, I gotta take a breath, hold on a second, or permission to conduct field work at sites throughout the world, his peers clearly recognize, respect, and appreciate the work he has done. Scott's work is critical to conservation efforts to protect many different birds and other animals and their ecosystems throughout the world. By any metric commonly applied in the scientific field, Scott's scholarly accomplishments are astounding. Hired initially as an assistant professor in 2009 before rising up through the academic ranks, he has now published 86 collaborative research articles, 61 of which have been during his time here at San Jose State. Many of these research papers include student authors showing his commitment to training the next generation of scientists. He is consistently published in the most well-respected journals, including Nature, Nature Ecology and Evolution, Nature Communications, Nature Climate Change, and Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. He has funded this work with 19 grants since 2009, 12 of which are extramural, from such agencies as the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the North Pacific Research Board, the National Geographic Society, and the Pacific Islands Climate Change Cooperative. Scott has led or performed field work throughout the world, including California, Hawaii, Alaska, Palmyra Atoll, Mexico, Bermuda, Norway, New Zealand, the Indian Ocean, and Antarctica. Since 2009, he has given 25 invited oral presentations at different institutions and conferences, greatly enhancing San Jose State's reputation in research. He has also collaborated with groups from many prestigious universities, including Stanford and UC Santa Cruz. For consistently demonstrating an outstanding level of productivity and for representing San Jose State so well while doing so, it is my distinct pleasure to present the recipient of this year's President's Scholar Award, Dr. Scott Schaefer.
Well, thank you, President Perez. It's a great honor for me to receive this award. I feel like I've had a really great run during my time at San Jose State, and that success wouldn't be attributable unless I had great colleagues to work with, great collaborators to work with, and of course, my students. It gives me a lot of pleasure to see them come through the master's program and see their work come to fruition in a publication, and also then move on to bigger and better things like a doctoral program. My success at San Jose State wouldn't also be successful without the support that I get from the department and my colleagues for nominating myself for this award. And also, I have to thank my wife and children for enduring the time periods when I've been in the field and haven't been home and have missed Christmas, etc. And I owe them a debt of gratitude. And finally, I just want to thank the animals for allowing me to invade their space for periods of time so that I can figure out what they're doing, where they're going, and how, through my research and my colleagues' research, we can better protect them and going forward. So with that, I'll sign off, and I appreciate the recognition. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott, and congratulations again. And given that picture, you got very close to the animals. I don't know if that's the definition of invading their space, but it has to be pretty close to it. But that looked pretty exciting and fun. Let me take just a second to congratulate once again all the honorees and thank all the service year recipients. This is truly a special place. I've only been here a short period of time, but I can tell how much love and care everybody puts into supporting our students and supporting our region. And you all are such terrific representatives of that care and that just tremendous skill that we have within our faculty. So thank you all for everything that you do, and congratulations again. I'd like to introduce Jeffrey Benson as he tells us about this lovely performance from the Choraliers.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, President Perez. Happy to be here. I'm Jeffrey. I'm director of the San Jose State University Choraliers. And if you don't know the Choraliers, we are an all-student group. This is one of our classes here in the School of Music and Dance. About 36 of the top singers on campus, mostly music majors. And during the pandemic, as you all know, we were distanced, and many of you have seen us doing some of these recordings where we're all recording individually into our phones, and then the magic of technology putting all those together into some kind of film where we're all in little boxes. We did all kinds of music during the pandemic while we were distanced and forced to be apart. And one of the pieces that we did was just for pure fun. This was Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. We thought, when talking to the organizers today, we thought maybe something fun to celebrate everybody's achievements. Congratulations to all the award winners today. We hope you enjoy the San Jose State University Choraliers and Sweet Caroline.
Where it began, I can't begin to know it, but then I know it's growing strong. Was in the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? Hands, touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Oh, sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined look at the night, and it don't seem so lonely. We fill it up with only two. And when I hurt, it runs off my shoulders. How can I hurt when holding you? Touching warm, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Oh, sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would, but now I Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would. Sweet Caroline.
That was amazing. Thank you, Jeffrey, Benson, and the Choraliers. Although I'm going to have to say, it's going to take me a while to get bum, bum, bum out of my head now, but it was an incredible performance and I really enjoyed it. Now, Heather Latimer, the Dean of the College of Education, is going to take us on a journey with our 40-year honorees. Heather?
Hello and congratulations to our 40-year faculty service honorees. I can hardly believe that I just uttered the words 40 years. 40 years is a long time to be doing anything, but the fact that you have been serving San Jose State students for 4 decades now is simply astonishing. I am honored to work with such an esteemed and dedicated group of faculty colleagues. All of you serve as symbols of what we all hope to achieve as educators. Clearly, your dedication to our students knows no bounds. You've gone through changes in leadership, changes in deans, changes in budgets, and changes in student cohorts, and you have done so with professionalism, good cheer, and determination. These past few years, of course, you've been making it through a global pandemic and a completely new learning environment. In fact, you've actually been a big part of the creation of that new learning environment. So San Jose State has seen a great deal of change over these past 40 years. But one constant has been this esteemed group of faculty members. I believe I speak on behalf of the entire university leadership team, your peers and colleagues, and our students and their families when I say thank you. We so appreciate all that you have done to serve our students and prepare them for lifelong success. Now let's take a look back at an earlier era when our 40-year honorees began their careers at San Jose State.
So amazing. It's a great video and incredible contributions, 4 decades of contributions. It's just absolutely amazing. So I have to say, I want to thank and congratulate all our honorees, as well as our faculty award recipients. I want to thank everyone here today that has helped us with this celebration, as well as the team in the Office of the Provost, as well as the events group that has helped us put this event together. It's another incredible production. To conclude this year's program, I'm pleased to invite Acting Academic Senate Chair, Dr. Karthika Sasikumar, for her closing remarks. Karthika?
Thank you, Provost Del Casino. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today in celebrating the service and accomplishments of our colleagues. Before we break, I want to acknowledge and give thanks to a very dedicated group of individuals who come together every year to plan and execute this wonderful event. Please join me in thanking the members of the FSR Planning Committee, Tanmin Wen and Melanie Schlitzkus. Please also join me in thanking Christine Lugo from Event Planning, Terry Graziani and Keith Sanders from Video Production, Robert Bain from Photography, Melanie Schlitzkus again from Web Design, Mike James from Script Writing, Christina Centron, Tower Hall and Animation, and special thanks to the Office of the President, Strategic Communications and Marketing, and the Center for Faculty Development. With that, our formal program is concluded. Thank you again for attending this great event, and please continue to stay safe. Bye.